2026 spring favorites. I wore all of these if you've been following my weekly rotation videos. And now it's time to talk about the absolute standouts of spring this year. So welcome into the video. If you're new here, my name is Max. On this channel, we talk about fragrances or perfume or whatever you want to call it. So if you enjoy this type of content, if you want to stay up to date with everything, I have so many cool videos on the way. Amouage unboxings and giveaways potentially. So be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button, and I'm just going to go through all of these in no particular order, but I think I will crown a absolute favorite of spring 2026 right at the end of the video. There are no affiliate links, so don't worry about that shit. I'll just grab this one and start it off. So this is Roja Parfums Scandal Parfum pour Homme. It's the black cap Parfum version. It's not the Parfum cologne. This is just an absolutely staggeringly, insanely good fougere. But it's not redundant or boring or like repetitive. This takes so many different aspects from other fougeres, and it just rides that line of like, is this original? Is it not? I think it's an original creation. I really haven't smelled a fougere quite like this, and I've smelled like all the fougeres. This wears so airy and elegant. It's spicy, it's green, it's got that amazing sort of lavender bite with that herbaceous quality. It's such a dad scent, but like if your dad wears this, he's the coolest fucking dad ever. Like he's insanely cool. Yeah, it's just amazing. This is one of the highest quality fougeres I've ever smelled too. Roja gets a lot of hate, and I get it. Some people don't like Roja Dove as a person or like the marketing. They think the bottles are ugly. I agree. However, even as a person that kind of wants to not like Roja, the perfume speaks for itself. It really does. I've rarely been disappointed by a Roja that I've tried, except for some of the Ouds or whatever, but Scandal Parfum pour Homme, incredible. Okay, moving right along, another fougere. This is MDCI Invasion Barbare. I look weird in the camera there, look at that. Okay, so this is another fougere, but it's sort of like it's more of like a barber shop style, if you know what I mean. This is essentially a spicy, creamy, thick lavender wall, okay? It has this amazing bitter violet leaf in the top that gives it this ozonic, almost like slight purpley smelling edge. But the lavender here is the absolute star of the show. It's so foamy. It's such a rich wall of foamy, herbaceous lavender. It's just absolutely incredible. And there's the spicy quality. I think there might be cardamom in the notes. I can't really identify it, but it's this sort of hot spicy, warm spicy thing. It's completely out of this world. Also, one of my favorite purchases of the year so far. I think on the channel I'm going to do a video where I eventually round up my favorite purchases of the year. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments section. All right, moving swiftly along, let's do something different. Let's do a classic. Okay, everyone should know this one. And if you don't know it, it's time to know it. And it's going to be worth it for you to know it. This is Chanel Antaeus, ladies and gentlemen. This needs no introduction. This is one of the most famous masculines of all time. Oh my God. They just don't make stuff like this anymore, dude. They just don't. It's incredible. So this is the modern formulation of it. It's a 2024 bottle. So yes, the modern formulation, yes, it's maybe a little bit thinner. It's not as animalic. However, it's still incredible in its own right. 100% still a worthy purchase. And honestly, probably better than about 99.9% of things that are coming out today. Not gonna lie. Now, with that being said, this is an amazing, aromatic, spicy, slightly floral inflected leather, okay? So you have this castoreum note that gives it that sort of dated 80s funky sort of feel. It is slightly skanky in a way. It is slightly dirty in a way, but it's the most elegant, dirty smelling perfume you'll ever wear. And that's a Chanel specific talent. They managed to pull off both things at once without ruining it. It has this amazing, like, sagey, spicy, aromatic quality. The leather in here is rugged. It feels worn in. It's very, it kind of stays away from that more soapy French leather, in my opinion, that you might experience with something like Chanel Cuir de Russie. It's definitely more rugged, masculine, definitively masculine in that regard. And then there's this beautiful floral inflection that I mentioned. There's a gorgeous, almost musky rose note in here. It's fresh, but it's not at the same time. Chanel Antaeus is one of the greatest fragrances ever made. It's in my top 10. Spoiler. Okay, moving right along. This surprised me this spring. I did not expect to enjoy this particular perfume as much as I have. I actually expected to sell it, but no. This is Nissaba Les Alpes. Big dent in this bottle. That's just from this spring. It used to be all the way to the top. This is one of the most amazing, crisp, green, clean, woody fragrances I've ever worn. There's this amazing, fresh, clean pine needle nuance to it. But the thing that makes this so impressive is that Nissaba as a brand really focuses on all these natural materials and like being green and all that sort of stuff. So typically in my experience, natural perfumes or perfumes that are largely based on being natural, they don't really last that long. But Nissaba Les Alpes, this sort of breaks the mold. It retains this crisp, clean pine needle greenness throughout the entire wear experience. And it's detectable for like 8 hours. And I don't know how they did it. I think the perfumer for this is, oh God, is it Olivier Cresp or is it Fabrice Pellegrin? I'm going to have to look that up. It's one of the two. But whoever the perfumer is, they did an amazing job at retaining the fresh woodiness about this fragrance and making it really last, but without sacrificing the natural aspects of this. It's really impressive. This is unfortunately pretty pricey. Off the top of my head, I want to say Les Alpes is over $200. So if you're looking for something woody, I would go there if you're willing to maybe pay a little bit more. All right. Now, moving on to one of the most unique fragrances in my collection. Nothing smells like this. I mean, really, I've never encountered a fragrance that smells like this. This is Les Indemodables Ambre Supreme. This is an ambergris centered fragrance. Whoa. So this is the most incredible aldehydic, aromatic, but slightly dirty, animalic, almost skin-like, marine-like fragrance. It has this salty, marine quality, sort of like, I mean, Daniel from the channel seldomly often, I think, describes this best. His channel will be linked in the description. Fantastic channel. You should definitely subscribe to him. He describes it as, when you wear this fragrance, your skin smells like you've been in the beach in salt water, you know, and you get out of the water and the sun is on you, you know, you're tanning or whatever. It does smell like that. It has this incredible dirty but not dirty, animalic but not animalic quality. There's this amazing aldehydic bubbliness that I pick up in the opening that gives it this freshness. And it's one of the hardest fragrances to describe in my collection, really. If you've never tried anything from the house of Les Indemodables, stop right now, okay? One of the best houses on the market, period. Ambre Supreme is a highlight from that brand, in my opinion. Okay, moving on to another dad scent. maybe my favorite dad scent though of all time. This is Tom Ford Beau de Jour, private label. Okay. This is unfortunately discontinued in this bottle style. It might be discontinued altogether. I haven't looked, but oh my God. This is sort of an ode to older style masculine fragrances, okay? Big patchouli note in here, big herbal lavender. It's just an amazing, intoxicating combination of those two notes. The patchouli's green and earthy and textured, and the lavender is fresh and foamy and herbal and dense. There's this beautiful geranium freshness. It's slightly spicy. If Invasion Barbare, which I spoke about earlier, is a very thick, dense wall of shaving foam, this is that wall of shaving foam, but in the 80s. Okay? So, there you go. Moving along, I think we're going to do a couple Amouages next. This is one of my favorite Amouages of all time. It's simple for an Amouage, but I think it's underrated. And this is Amouage Sunshine Man. This is an Immortelle centered fragrance. And Immortelle is a polarizing note for a lot of people because Immortelle on some people's skin, they get reminded of like this curry, like a cooking spice curry sort of thing. But to my nose, it sort of smells like the liquid in the bottle. It has this golden, warm, vegetal, almost herbaceous glow. It smells like sunlight to me. If that makes any sense. Oh, wow. So Amouage Sunshine Man is very unique when it comes to Immortelle fragrances because it starts off with this amazing syrupy orange liqueur sort of thing. And then it goes into this lavender Immortelle combination. You can tell I like lavender by now. But the Immortelle is more prominent than the lavender to my nose. The lavender gives it this slight herbaceous, lavendery, fresh, almost like purple smelling quality. And the Immortelle is golden. It's creme brulee, if that makes sense. It does have this distinct glow and hum and warmth to it. This is a little heavy to be worn in the summer, which is why I wear it in the spring. I have worn this in the summer, and it's an absolute beast. This bottle is sort of a Frankenstein bottle for the batch code people. Here's the batch code. There you go. I don't know if this is discontinued or not. You might still be able to buy this. But one of the most unique fragrances from Amouage, in my opinion, one of the more simple fragrances, but fantastic nevertheless. Now a fragrance that isn't simple. This is also from Amouage. This is Amouage Reflection 45 Man. Look at that bottle. It's an incredible bottle. This is from their Exceptional Extracts collection. This is the extract version of Reflection Man, but don't get it twisted. This is definitely a new take on the Reflection Man DNA. So this is way denser than the original Reflection Man. It's way less soapy fresh. It's more velvety. I get a distinct velvety texture when I wear this fragrance because there's orris in this, which gives it this buttery smooth quality. The florals in here are headier and denser. It's way more aromatic. So there's a lot more spiciness going on. There's more aromaticness going on. It's smooth. It's versatile. This is probably, for the money, one of the absolute best signature scents that you could wear all year round on the market, bar none. This does everything, and it does it to an exceptionally high level. This velvety jasmine orris aromatic spicy thing. It's very complex, but I think that's why I prefer it over the original. I think it does that extra mile for me. Okay, moving on. The last Amouage I really loved wearing this spring. This is another exceptional extrait. This is Jubilation 40. Everyone's familiar with Jubilation 25 Man or Jubilation XXV Man. This is the extrait version of that. This is, again, it's different compared to the original. This is heavier. This is denser. The opening is different. It's more green and camphorous. There's a slight fruitiness to it. There's a slight sort of, yeah, like a black curranty, almost like pissiness to it. But don't get it twisted. I mean, this is one of the most opulent, elegant, just luxurious fragrances I've ever put my nose on. It's this beautiful blackberry jam incense. It kind of smells like some sort of berry pie, but not in a gourmand way, like in the most sophisticated Middle Eastern inflected way possible. It does smell like the bottle. You will smell like you're riding a horse in golden armor through the Omani desert when you wear this. So be warned. It's amazing. For use case scenarios, a lot of people are afraid to wear that fragrance in hotter weather. I'm completely on the other side. Wear Jubilation 40 in the heat. Do it now. You will never go back to wearing it in the cold. These Amouage extraits, guys, they're heavy. Look at the sheen Reflection 45 left on my hand. Or excuse me, Jubilation 25 left on my hand. I have another extrait. I made a video before this. But they're oily, they're heavy, they're dense. They need heat to really push that fragrance up. So wear Jubilation 40 in the heat. You will not regret it. All right. Now on to another fragrance that needs no introduction. A legend in the perfume world. This is Frederic Malle Portrait of Lady by Dominique Ropion. This is incredible. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful rose fragrances ever created. This is rose. This is patchouli, incense. It's absolutely captivating. It's a dense, thick, rosy wall. The rose is this, to my nose at least, very pink, sort of fruity floral rose. It definitely is a fruitier rose. I wouldn't say it's too jammy, but it definitely is like a fruitier rose. The incense in here just cuts through sort of some of the floral and patchouli elements, balancing it out with that sort of frankincense-y, almost spicy quality. The patchouli is green and earthy, gives a beautiful contrast to the florals. It's spicy. It's absolutely potent, especially in the vintage concentrations. Recently, I saw a bottle of Portrait of a Lady Vintage go for $2,700. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. That's how crazy people are about this particular fragrance, okay? If you love rose and you've never smelled Portrait of a Lady, do yourself a favor, do it now, okay? Smell Portrait of a Lady tomorrow. All right, and I think my favorite perfume I wore this spring, and my favorite discovery and purchase of 2026 so far, this is actually from Serge Lutens, and this is La Myrrhe. Not really a Serge Lutens you hear very much about. This is an absolutely jaw-dropping fragrance, at least to my nose, for my particular taste. La Myrrhe is a perfume of extremely harsh contrast, okay? You have this super cold, fresh, bubbly, uplifting, aldehydic opening, juxtaposed against this deep, glowing, rich, resinous myrrhe base. And you would think that much of a contrast wouldn't make sense, but the way this is done is so incredible. I cannot stress enough. It's so effervescent and fresh and clean, but it goes through a crazy transition top to bottom. And by the dry down, it's thick and it's dense and it's almost gooey and resinous and glowing. You can wear this, I say, in any weather. I think it's fresh enough to be worn in the summer, and it's strong enough to be worn in the winter. Just a absolutely amazing fragrance. I don't even know how to describe it other than I just did. I think there's some floral things going on in here, but it's so well blended. I have trouble picking out the florals. It kind of smells like Chanel No. 5, but for men, if that makes sense. Like, you really dial back all the florals, you keep the aldehydes, and you replace it with just a ton of resins. That's what this is like. Incredible fragrance. Unfortunately, it's $347. Worth every penny, though, in my opinion. I would pay that again. I really would. So these have been my absolute favorite perfumes I have worn in spring 2026. I'll be doing my summer rotation very, very soon here, as well as summer perfume suggestion videos and all that. So if you want to see all that, definitely hit the sub button, hit the like button, and let me know what your favorite fragrance you wore this spring was in the comment section. I always respond to all the comments on this channel, so if you're a first-time commenter, let me know that as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.